Hello everybody and welcome back to another Deep Ogre review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the, not brand new, but kind of new, whatever. We're taking a look at the It's not Transformers, guys, it's not Transformers. We're taking a look at the DC Multiverse Rebirth, McFarlane Toys, Multiverse DC, I already said that, Bizzaro. I got this guy for 14 bucks. Actually, just 14 bucks. Loose. With all the accessories. So, honestly, I think this guy is definitely worth that. I do love the price decrease that McFarlane has gotten with action figures, either though they come with less, but they are significantly cheaper than other action figures on the market right now, such as Marvel Legends or Transformers or even Star Wars Black Series. But I digress. Let's just get into this guy's accessories. So for Bizzaro's accessories, you just have these pair of fisted hands, and you have some nice fingernail sculpt in there. You can kind of see there is a little bit of a paint wash on them just to bring out all that detail, but other than that, they're just regular pair of fists, and the way you just put them on is peg them right into the arm. Unlike a Marvel Legend, where the peg is on the arm, I just dropped the fist, but sorry about that. And this is the wrong fist anyway. But unlike Marvel Legends, they just have a peg in the arm, in the actual arm that goes into the hand, which isn't bad. I kind of like that system a little bit more. But if I'm being honest, doesn't really matter. It's just interchangeable hands, which, from what I understand and from what I've seen and collected so far, McFarlane doesn't really do extra hands, which I will say is definitely a favorable trait of Marvel Legends. But I digress. That's pretty much it for his accessories. But taking Bizzaro here for a closer look, his face kind of looks like if he was portrayed like, or he was played by Joaquin Phoenix. I don't know why, I'm just getting major Joaquin Phoenix vibes from this face sculpt and the face printing tech on him. It's kind of freaky. It's kind of freaky, and it's kind of weird how lifelike the eyes are for Bizzaro. I've always been more used to a dead look in the eyes for this character, but I'm not really sure how I feel about the more lively eyes. It's nothing on the figure's fault. It's probably just the DC Rebirth design, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. But other than that, the face sculpt looks really good. I love the gritted teeth look. You have some really nice wash on the head to bring out those cracks in the skin. He has a very strong jawline, just like Bizzaro should. Going all the way around, very nice. More shade around the eyes, and that's pretty much it for his face sculpt. The head sculpt. I really do not like the fact that there's just one tuft of hair on the top. Again, that's more the design from the comics, from what I've seen and understood. It's fine. I can live with it. But for the body, you have this very nice navy dark blue. Very good looking. I really love it. It's this very nice contrast to the Superman's bright blue, which we'll get into comparisons later. But you can see there's a lot of great sculpted detail. You have that backwards S symbol on his chest, and lines running through out to the arm, all the way to the wrists where these cuffs are, then all the way down, coming up from the armpit, down from the middle to the sides. You lose those lines on the underwear, but it doesn't really matter, and you can see I do have a little bit of red splotching right there, which you can just probably scrape off. I'll probably do that later. But you do have those lines running all the way down to the foot, and the foot has nice detail. It is a little small, like disproportionately small to the rest of the figure, but I can live with it. You do have some really nice wrinklage sculpt on the suited body. Very nice indeed. Really love all the detail in the costume that McFarlane usually puts into these guys. I like the boot sculpt. You have that red paint, and that's pretty much it. This guy isn't painted all to crap or whatever. It is just a guy, a bigger guy in a skin tight suit, but you do have that cape, which does look very good. I like the texture, but at the same time, it is just a plastic rubbery cape, so it does kind of suck when you're trying to get it in poses. But it does have tatters all on the bottom and up right here. Very nice, nicely detailed tatters too. I really, really dig it. Really dig this cape. But might get a cloth replacement in the future. Other than that, I really think this guy's details are pretty much on point. But for this Bizzaro's articulation, there is a dumbbell up at the neck, so we can look up about that far, which is probably the best up we've ever gotten from a dumbbell joint ever on action figures. But then you can look down about that far and tilt side to side for days. Arm can go up about that far, down about that far, full 360. The cape just flexes out of the way. You kind of have a butterfly joint. It's not really a traditional butterfly joint, I guess. It is a dumbbell from the arm, put into the torso, and then just this kind of cover over that. So there is a simulation of a butterfly joint. Then you have kind of a tighter bicep swivel on mine, double jointed elbows that can get very far, all the way up. I do enjoy that quite a bit. And then you have this kind of ball joint system where it goes out and in like that. But if you twist the ball joint around, you can get up and down like that. But you have a diaphragm joint up at the chest, which gets more back and side to side than it does forward, but the forward is used by this kind of waist dumbbell joint, which altogether there is a lot of gappage up there when you use that bottommost one, but you can get a lot of motion out of that. Leg can kick up about that far. Underwear are rubber, so they just move right out of the way. Then back about that far. Beautiful, beautiful spread. Kind of a simulated small thigh joint, or thigh swivel because of the joint that's up at the leg. You have a double knee, can get up about that much. And then nothing at the boot, which I'm kind of used to, especially because there's a seam line right there. But you do have an up and a down. And then if you want to, you can move that ball joint side to side. On the feet, it's a little tight to keep that in that direction, but if you do manage to keep it in that direction when you're turning the foot around, I haven't managed to do it yet, but you can get a ankle pivot out of that. Pretty much this articulation scheme, oh right, and you have a toe joint at the foot, but pretty much for this articulation scheme, and all of McFarlane has this kind of articulation scheme. The 22-point system, I think Farland calls it. I can't remember. But it does work. It works pretty well, honestly. This is the first DC figure I'm reviewing, but still, it's very serviceable. I like it. It's not bad. But other than that, let's get into size comparisons. For the first comparison, here we have him next to the Three Jokers Multiverse, the Criminal Joker, and the Multiverse, the Batman just with a wired cape and silver to the eyes. Obviously, I don't think Bizzaro is really in scale with these two. This probably because it's more of a movie figure. I don't know why this guy, but he doesn't really fit these guys scale-wise. So if you're trying to do just like a regular DC display, I don't know. I have no idea. But still, nonetheless, they do look pretty good next to each other. And here he is next to the Rebirth Superman, which Superman reuses a lot of parts from Bizzaro. the arms, basically everything except for the head and the torso, and the cape. But they do look pretty good next to each other. Um, and like I said before, I like the stark contrast between the darker navy grayish blue and then the bright blue, toned down red, more popping out bright red, especially right there. Um, I like the metallic on the silver, or the metallic red on the chest, but maybe I'll get to his review later down the line. But they do look good next to each other, and the other figure is the DC Classics. No, not DC. DC Universe Classics. Hawkman with a custom mace. These lines don't really fit together, but what are you gonna do? I have Hawkman, and I'm also collecting Multiverse, so whatever. And if you're thinking about starting to collect DC Multiverse and you want to get this Bizzaro, here he is next to the Transformers Earthrise Optimus and the Transformers Legacy drag strip. And here he is next to some more Marvel Legends type figures. I say type because here he is next to my custom MF Doom and the Spider-Man Retro Series Black Suited Spider-Man. Previously reviewed. Go check that out. That review is actually doing pretty good. I don't know what the hell happened, but it's getting quite a few views. For my final thoughts on Bizzaro, I think this is an actually pretty good figure. I don't understand why people hate McFarlane's DC line or the Mortal Kombat line or any of the McFarlane figures that he's been doing recently with the 22-point system. Don't understand it. He seems like a pretty decent guy. Plus, they're pretty decent action figures. I mean, I know they're larger scale. They're 7-inch. They don't really fit in with anything else I collect. Like, don't really fit in with any of the icon, or not the icons, the Universe Classics that I have, or the Marvel Legends that I have, Black Series, or they actually fit pretty well with NECA, but I digress. We're not talking about other toy lines. Bizzaro is a really good action figure. I really love this body mold. I love the Superman version of this. I think that the accessories are really good. The few that he comes with, of course, he comes with the regular McFarlane character card and the display or the stand, but they're not really accessories per se, and they come with every figure. But I think that McFarlane is definitely still finding his way through. I mean, this was before they were doing that stupid side glance shit. So I know that he said hopefully he'll stop that. Can't remember if I'm quoting something wrong or not. But overall, this figure, absolutely amazing. Even the cape. Usually capes really bother me, especially if they're like this. But it really, really doesn't get to me. It's flexible. It's able to move out of the way. You get a lot of articulation on this guy, and easily, it is definitely one of my favorite DC figures so far. But I digress. I'm going to give this guy a solid 7 out of 10. I like this guy. He's pretty good. Anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. If you like it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.